Right on. I don't have to worry about starting off the edge. I don't have to worry about circular motion. I can pounce this. I can go into circular motion. I can put as many layers of ink as I want on there, and it's always going to blend out. And if I want to create that darker edge, remember, you're just going to ink this up, slide this forward, because that's what's going to focus. Those little bristles kind of push them together, and now it will allow me just to go in and add that darker edge, and then I can just retract this so the bristles are bigger and blend that out. Easy way to blend.
Beautiful.
And just close it up, and you're done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So that's what's cool about the blending brushes. It's really, really a lot of fun. Now, I'll show you an oxide technique that we will do with the inks that create a different effect. If you're familiar with distress oxide, we know that it creates a cool oxidized background, right? We've created some, let's see, let me find some oxide backgrounds. I can't even see any. Oh, they're gone. They've walked. All right. So oxides are going to give us this soft, milky, creamy, hazy background, right? We've had these out for a year. People love playing with them on watercolor cardstock or tags. What if we change things up a little bit? So I'm going to show you a background where we're going to work with alcohol ink cardstock. Now this is a paper that's for alcohol inks.
Hi.
Normally for alcohol ink, this is a clay-based paper. Okay? It's not photo paper. You can try photo papers, but photo papers I find, because they're emulsion-based, they tend to get a little sticky when we wet them and heat them. But try it. I always tell people, try what you have, see what works.
The backside is even better, right?
Yeah. As long as it doesn't get sticky, you're good to go, because we want something that's going to actually bake our layers of color into this. So that's what we're going to start with, is alcohol ink cardstock. Something glossy. We want to work on the glossy, not the matte side. And here we go. We're going to take our oxide and we're going to apply colors to the craft sheet. Whatever colors you want. The joy of oxide is that because it is a dye and pigment, you can play, right? So we've got the great properties of a dye, those really intense colors, but we also have the opacity of those pigments in there, and the fact that this is a felt pad really allows me to not have that squishy glycerin ink that we normally have when it comes to pigments. It's a great kind of fusion of color. I'm going to wet this, right? That's going to get my inks to start going, and I'm going to take my glossy paper, glossy side down with that alcohol paper, make a print, and you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit, okay?
Wow.
Because when you're inking,
love it.
Wet on wet blends, wet on dry layers. So if I keep going into that wet because I didn't get ink there, these colors will blend together, sometimes good, sometimes not so good, you know? Sometimes you just think, I probably should have stopped a couple of prints ago. But if you dry it, if you dry it, and you just have to dry it for a little bit, it doesn't have to be crispy dry, it's dry enough that I can go in and do another layer. And that's just kind of slap it around. So I always tell people, if you look at it, you've committed, right? If you flip it to see what's going on, just take that time to dry it. And I'm going to continue to build. What I found in mixed media, you're only as good as your next layer.
Yeah.
So, you know, like some looks, you're just like, you're only as good as your next layer. You're like, you know what? This isn't really working for me. Let's put something else on there. Put a big piece of ephemera. Let's embellish it, But for ink, I like the fact that I can go in and add these crazy layers. I can add, let's add a little bit more of this picked raspberry pink. Let's add some squeezed lemonade so we can throw on some yellow.
Now I'm getting hungry.
Let's take a little bit of evergreen bough we can throw in. That's a little bright color. Let's take a little twisted citron. Really pop up that green, because here's where oxides get really fun and really kind of crazy. They have this ability, because of their dye and pigment, to go anywhere you decide. Okay, so when I add water and you say, you know what, I want to add pink, I'm going to put pink over this dark blue area. Now normally that's not going to work, but with oxide it will. So I can put a color wherever I want. I can throw some green on there.
Wow, that's gorgeous.
And as you see that, because I'm adding these layers and water, it's really oxidizing these paper. It's really getting kind of hazy, but wait till you see the end.
All right.
That's the best. Because right now it's like, okay, you're oxidizing, great.
Awesome.
It's going to get really good. It's going to be a what?
Wow.
It has to be that. So now I'm going to play on these little dots, right? I've got little bits of ink. I've got enough color down, but now I want to play into those tiny little drips of ink. I want to get a little bit more color on there, just here and there. And so I am looking this time because I just want to get some little dots. See those little orange dots I have, little blue dots? Maybe I want to put a little bit more pink in that corner. Just kind of your finishing layer, and then you're done, right? If you take it away, you're done, right? You have to be done, it's not there. But now I'm gonna dry that final layer and show you what we end up with, okay? Now oxides, because they have that oxidation property, we're working on coated paper, right? We started with something glossy. So the first thing you see is that glossy, that shine that we had is not there anymore, okay? The oxidation has really dulled that down, which could be cool. But then I started playing around saying, you know, what else could I do with this surface? So as I had this background, which I loved, I thought it had a very kind of stone-like look, you know, loved the effect of it. I thought, well, this